Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I want to show you how to use preamps to make your bass cut through the mix. We're going to be pushing some preamps to get your bass to cut through the mix today, but before we dive in, if you are ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process in its entirety and really start to hone your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through the entire mixing process, step by step, to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without any more of the hassle and without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and start tackling this bass guitar. Let me start by playing the bass inside the mix, and then I'll solo it up as well so you can hear what our bass sounds like isolated by itself. So here's our finished mix for the song.
1, 2, 3, want to look at me. 4, 5, 6, tell me when will you miss? 7, 8, 9, no, it ain't fine.
So it's a good sounding bass guitar. It's got a lot of nice warm low end on it, but it doesn't quite have the top end that I need for it to cut through the mix. It sits really nicely with the kick drum, but it needs some top end, some grit to sit evenly on the top end with our piano, our guitars, and that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bus channel here, and I'm going to call it bass dist. So you could go the normal route of adding distortion on your bass guitar, but what we're going to do here, I think, is we're going to use preamps to get some color on our bass guitar. So I'm going to send our bass bus to the bass dist here, and we're going to send full signal here. So now we pretty much just have a copy of our finished bass guitar sound. So from here, what I'm going to reach for is, I'm going to reach for the virtual mix rack first. There's a couple other preamps we can try as well, and we'll throw those in just for comparison purposes, but I want to try the pre's inside here. So we have the FG73 and we have the FG76. Let's try the FG73 first, and then we'll reach and pull in the FG76. We can also pull in where are they at? We have the VT1 here, and we have the RC500 here as well. So pulling in the FG73 first, let's crank this now and see what we can get on our bass guitar. That sounded really cool right there. I kind of like that one. Let's pull in the FG76 here next to it. I've turned off the FG73. Let's crank up the FG76 and see what kind of preamp color we can get. So obviously that doesn't have quite the push that the 73 does. We would need quite a bit more volume to push into it, and we can do that real quick just to see what it sounds like. We'll throw the trimmer before it, and we'll push into it and see what we can get. So the FG76 isn't bad. It feels a little smoother and more balanced overall in the distortion that we're getting from driving the preamp. But the 73 sounds a little bit more gnarly to me, which I kind of like. So we're going to leave these two off for the moment. The other one we're going to try is, let's try the VT1 here. There's a preamp on the VT1 as well. This is an emulation of the old PreSonus VT1. It's a tube channel strip. So let's push the preamp gain on this here and see what we can get. So that's not really doing anything, not really distorting the preamp or anything like that. The last one I want to try, just for demonstration purposes, let's see if we can push the RC500 and get anything from it. That's okay sounding. It has that little breakup up at the top end, but it's not as smooth as these two preamps here. So I'm going to nuke these two. I'm going to get rid of the trimmer and the FG76 there. I love what the FG73 is doing. So take a listen to this one more time on our bass guitar. That's just pushing that preamp there. So let's mix this in now and see what we can get. The other thing we can try, if need be, if it messes with our low end, is rolling off the low end on the distorted bass. But we're going to leave it for now and see what we can get with our bass guitar.
1, 2, 3, won't you look at me?
That's sounding really, really good there at about -14. And here's all we're adding. We'll take a listen one more time inside the mix, and I'll mute and unmute our distorted bass here.
1, 2, 3, won't you look at me? 4, 5, 6, tell me when will you miss? 7, 8, 9, no, it ain't fine. 1, 2, 3, won't you look at me? 4,
So if you're struggling to get your bass guitar to cut through the mix, next time instead of reaching for a standard distortion plugin, try reaching for a preamp. So creating a bus channel, sending your bass into that bus channel, full signal, you can pump all the way up if need be as well, and then just adding in a preamp and driving the preamp to get color and distortion from the preamp. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are ready to take your mixes to the next level and really start dialing in your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can download it below to start creating more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.